Previously, OpenAI Swarm was the AI agent framework provided by the OpenAI, but recently they have released a new one called the OpenAI Agent SDK. And in this video, we are going to create an AI-driven multi-agent system for an airline's customer support, in which we are going to categorize and process the customer inquiries by delegating them to the specialized agents. Before actually starting the coding, let's quickly go through some of the key concepts of the OpenAI Agents SDK. The first and the most important component is the agent, which is basically an LLM configured with instructions, tools, hands-off, and guardrails. We are going to go through all of these terms one by one. The next component is a tool, which are the functions the agent can call for external help. Then we have the context, which is a mutable object you create and pass along, storing the state or shared resources. It can be like a class storing the properties and behaviors of any shared resource. Then we have the output type that allows you to specify the structured final outputs. Then we have hands-off, which are the mechanisms for delegating or switching the conversation to a different agent. We have streaming, which emits partial delta output events as the agent thinks they call the tools. And then we have the guardrails, which validate the inputs or outputs, check the policies, and halt the execution if something is off limit. So out of all of these different components, in this project, we are going to be focusing on the agents, the tools, context, and handoffs. So now let's go ahead and start the coding. So firstly, we need to download and install all the dependencies that we are going to be needing, which is actually the OpenAI SDK only. So in order to do that, you have to run the command pip install OpenAI agents. Once you run it, it is going to download and install all the necessary files that will be needed in order to use the OpenAI agents. So after downloading the OpenAI agent SDK, the next thing is to import the dependencies. So these are all the dependencies that we are going to be needing. Let's quickly go through them one by one. Firstly, from the future, I am importing annotations. This is being done to enable the forward references, allowing the type hints for classes that haven't been defined yet. Then we are importing the async queue, which is used for asynchronous execution, allowing multiple tasks or the customer request in this case to run simultaneously. Then we are importing the random because we want to generate the random flight numbers for the seat bookings. The UI ID is going to create unique conversation IDs, and we are using the Maze model from the Pydantic to define a data model for storing the passenger related information. Next, from the OpenAI Agent SDK, we are importing the agents, which is an AI-driven agent that handles the customer queries. Then these are the different helper classes. We have the function tool, which is actually a decorator to define the tool functions. Then we have the handoff, which is allow an agent to transfer a query to another agent. And then we have the runner, which runs the AI agent pipeline. And lastly, we have the trace for logging and tracing the customer agent interactions. And then from the agents.execution.handoff prompt, we are importing the recommended prompt prefix to be passed while creating the handoff. The next step is to define the context for the airline support, which is actually going to be a class that will contain information about the airline agent like the passenger name, the flight number, the seat number, etc. So here I'm going to define a class called the airline agent context, which is actually derived from the base model, inside which we are defining the passenger name, confirmation number, seat number, and flight number. And each agent can modify and use this context during interactions. So after defining the context for the airline support, now the next step is to create different tools. So as I mentioned earlier that we are going to be having two different tools in this project. First one is going to be the FAQ lookup tool, and the other one is going to be the update seat tool. So firstly, let's go ahead and create the FAQ lookup tool. So this is the code for creating the FAQ lookup tool. Let's quickly go through all the different parts. So firstly, we are using the annotation for the function tool. It is basically a decorator that likely registers the function as a tool inside the chatbot system. So everything which will be written after this will be considered as a tool for the OpenAI SDK. So inside the function tool, you have to provide a name for the tool as well as a description. So firstly, we have the name override, which is a custom name for the function. And then we have a description of the tool, that what this tool does. It looks up frequently asked questions. After that, we are defining the function and we are setting it to be asynchronous. The function name is FAQ lookup tool, just like we provided it right here. And it is going to take a question of the type string as an input and is going to return an answer, which is also going to be a string. And inside this function, we are defining three different conditions, that if in question there is a word bag or baggage, then you have to return that you are allowed to bring one bag on the plane. Else, if there is the word seats or plane in the question, then you have to return that there are 120 seats on the plane. Else, if Wi-Fi is present inside the question, you will have to return that we have free Wi-Fi on the plane. Or else, if none of these is satisfied, you have to return, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. So these were just 3 basic conditions for the FAQ function. You can add a bunch of all others, but I'm going to leave it to 3. So this is our FAQ lookup tool. Next, we need to create the update seat tool. So this is the code for that. So in this function, firstly, we are using the function tool annotation to define that it is going to be a tool. And then once again, we are creating an asynchronous function by the name update seat. But here, the function parameters are a bit different. Firstly, we are passing the context as a parameter, which is basically an object that wraps around the airline agent context, which holds the flight related information, and the run context wrapper is a type hint indicating that this wrapper provides controlled access to the airline context. Next, we are passing the confirmation number, which is of the string which needs to be updated, and then we are passing the new seat, which is also of the string type, which is the new seat assignment for the passenger. And entirely this function returns a string, which is actually a string message confirming the update. Then inside this function, we are assigning the confirmation number to the confirmation number of this context object. Similarly, we are assigning the new seat number to the seat number of the context object. Next, we are adding an assertion to verify that the flight number exists in the context. If it is not present, then we are gonna show the message flight number is required. Otherwise, we will return the message saying updated seat to new seat number for the confirmation number, and here we are gonna print the confirmation number. So we have created the 2 tools. Now we need to define the agent handoff. So as I mentioned earlier that hands-off transfers the controls between multiple agents. So here I'm going to define a handoff. I'm going to call it on seat booking handoff. Inside it, we are going to pass the context object once again that is going to contain the airline agent context information, and this function is going to return nothing. Inside this function, we are generating a random integer number from 100 to 999 and will be saved inside this flight number variable, and then we are going to assign this flight number to the flight number of the context. So after creating the on-seat booking handoff, we are going to create the AI agents. So since we have 2 tools, so this means that we will definitely be having 2 main agents that will be related to the tools, and then we are going to have a main agent that is going to transfer the control to the required agents. So firstly, we are going to create the FAQ agent. So firstly, we are creating an agent which is of the type airline agent context. Inside it, you have to pass a few things. Firstly, you have to provide a name to your agent. I'm going to call it the FAQ agent. Then you have to provide the handoff description, a helpful agent that can answer questions about the airline. Then for the instructions, you are passing the predefined recommended prompt prefix, which is actually a predefined way of how the responses should be. After that, I am appending this sentence with it that you are an FAQ agent. Use the FAQ lookup tool to answer the question. And then for the tool, I am assigning the FAQ lookup tool. So this was the FAQ agent. Now we are going to go ahead and create the update seat agent, for which we will assign the update seat tool. So here is the seat booking agent. Here we are once again creating the agent which is of the type airline agent context. We have to provide a name which is the seat booking agent. The handoff description is it is a helpful agent that can update the seat on the flight. Then instructions start with the recommended prompt prefix, and then we are saying that you are a seat booking agent and use the update seat tool. And then finally we are gonna assign the update seat tool as the tool for this agent. And make sure that for each tool you have a specific agent in order for that tool to work. Now we need to define a way of deciding that which agent should be called so that which tool should be performed. So in that case, we are going to create a main dispatcher agent or a triage agent, which is going to delegate the responsibility of calling the required agent according to the user input. So here I'm going to define a dispatcher agent, which is actually going to be a triage agent. It is going to be an agent of the airline agent context type. The name of the agent is going to be the triage agent. Hands-off description is it is a triage agent that can delegate a customer's request to the appropriate agent. Then for the instructions, once again, we are using the recommended prompt prefix along with that you are a helpful triaging agent. And since this agent only has the responsibility to delegate the customer's request to the appropriate agent, so we don't need to have any tool for this, and we are not going to assign any tool for this. Rather, we need to define the hands off for this agent. So we are going to create a list of hands off. So firstly, we are going to have a FAQ agent, and then we are going to have another handoff object where the agent is going to be the seat booking agent, and we have a handoff for the seat booking agent as well. So we are going to say on handoff, which is the on seat booking handoff. So in case of simple agents, we have defined the tools. So while defining the agent, we assign the tools to that agents. But in case of the main dispatcher agent or the triage agent, there was no tool, and its responsibility was to delegate the customer request to the appropriate agent. That is why inside this agent, we defined the hands off, which actually contains the agents along with their hands off if there is any. So now the flow will be like so. Firstly, the user request will come to the dispatcher agent, who will look whether the customer request is related to the FAQs or related to updating the seats. So if the question is related to the FAQ, then the triage agent will dispatch the request to the FAQ agent, which will then call the related tool in order to process the request. And if the triage agent identifies the customer request as as a request to update the seat number, he will pass the request to the seat booking agent, which will then call the required tool and the handoff to process the request. And then finally, we are going to append the triage agent to the handoffs of both the agents. And then finally, we are going to go ahead and run the agents in order to understand the entire flow. For that, we are going to create the main function. So here we are once again setting it to be asynchronous. Then inside this function, firstly, we are setting the current agent to be the triage agent. So this means that our flow is going to start with the triage agent, which likely determines how to route the user queries. Then we are creating a list of input items, which actually stores the conversation history in a structured format. After that, we have the context, in which we are initializing the airline agent context that contains information like the passenger number, the seat number, confirmation number, etc. And then we are generating a unique 16-character conversation ID for storing and tracking the session. After that, we are running a while loop, which will run infinitely until the user exits manually. Inside this while loop, firstly, we are taking the user input by saying enter your message. And in the next line, we are logging the conversation under the session ID called the conversation ID. And this is useful for debugging, auditing, and analytics. After that, we are appending the user input and the role as the user to the input items list, which we have just created. Nextly, inside the same loop, we are running the agent, and here the AI agent runs asynchronously, meaning the program does not block while waiting for the response. And here inside the agent, we are passing the current agent, which is the triage agent, the input items, which is actually the list of the questions which the user has entered, along with the context, which is the airline agent object. Then inside the same while loop, we are creating a for loop, which is actually going to handle the AI agent response. So now we are gonna iterate through this list object, which is actually going to contain the AI agent response. We are gonna go through each item inside the result, and this result will actually have two possible response types. The first one is going to be the message output item, which is going to be a direct message from the AI agent, and it is going to print the response using item helper.text message output function. So this was the first scenario, that the response was directly from the AI agent. The second possibility is that the response is a handoff output item. First one was the response was a message output item, and the second possibility is that it is a handoff output item. So if the instance in the new item is a handoff output item, then we are going to print that it is handed off from the source agent name to the target agent name. So we are going to print the source agent name and the target agent name if the response is a handoff output item. And then finally, we are going to update the conversation state by storing the input list of the result input inside the input items, and the last agent from the result will be saved as the current agent, and the responsibility will then be delegated to that particular agent. So this was the entire flow. And before actually running the agents, you need to set up your OpenAI API key. So I'm going to set it as an environment variable inside the OS. So I'm going to say os.environ OpenAI API key and paste your API key right here. So once your API key is set, now go ahead and run this. It will firstly ask you to enter your message. So I'm going to say, what is the baggage limit? Once you hit enter, you can see that it is headed off from the triage agent to the FAQ agent, and the FAQ agent has provided us the response that you are allowed to bring one bag on the plane. And then it is asking for another message. This time I'm going to say, I want a window seat. Once you hit enter, you will see that it is handed off from the FAQ agent back to the triage agent, because he has the responsibility of passing the request to the appropriate agent, and then the request has been handed off from the triage agent to the seat booking agent, which is actually going to process this request involving the seat. And now the seat booking agent is actually saying, could you please provide your confirmation number and current seat assignment so I can update you to a window seat. If you remember that here we were updating the conversation history, here we are setting the last agent from the result as the current agent. So here the last agent was the FAQ agent. So for the second request, the FAQ agent is going to be the current agent. When I entered the second message that I want a window seat, now the control was in the hand of the current agent. So it handed off the request from the FAQ agent to the triage agent, and then the triage agent, on the basis of the request, handed the request to the seat booking agent, which then performed the processing of the request. So this was the entire code for the application, and you can see that everything is being run right here inside it. You can view all the logs, etc. So now, in order to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to convert it to a Streamlit application. So here I am inside my VS Code, and I've pasted the entire code right here inside a file called main.py. Everything else is the same. The changes to be made are actually done inside the main function. So firstly, we have imported the Streamlit because the application is going to be a Streamlit application. Then we are setting the page config by setting the page title, icon, and the layout. After that, I'm creating a simple sidebar having an image and 3 different buttons for quick actions, that if user and clicks the baggage policy button, then he will get this message. If he clicks the cancel button, then he will get this message. Or if he clicks the update seat button, then he'll get this message respectively. After that, I'm setting the page title to be airline customer service. Here I'm initializing the session state variables to store the state of the conversation inside the session. After that, I'm creating the layout for the chat and the input. This is just for creating the big good looking layout. So the actual code actually starts from here. I am actually showing a text area saying type your message below. The key is the user input, and then we have a button called the submit. So once the user will enter its message inside this text area and will click on the submit button, it will be stored inside this user input variable. Then we will see that if both of these are not empty, then firstly we are going to set the group ID equivalent to the session state conversation ID, and we are going to append the user input or the prompt which the user has entered inside the input items of the session state. So previously we were simply storing the content inside the input items. Now we have saved this input items inside the session state. So we are actually appending the content to the session state variable. After that, we are running the current agent with the input, which can be any agent according to the situation. So here we are passing the current agent, the input items, and the context, which is actually saved inside the session state object too. Then everything else is exactly the same like we did previously. We are iterating through the new items list to get the response, and if the response is from the new agent, then we are displaying the agent name, and if it is handed off from some other agent, then we will display the message that it is handed off from the source agent to the target agent. And then we are simply adding the input list and the last agent to the session state in order to maintain the conversation. Pretty simple, right? So the only thing that is left now is to actually run this. For that, I'm going to open a new terminal window and run the command streamlit run main.py. Once you hit enter, a new browser window will open and you'll have your application interface right in front of you. So you can see that here we have the sidebar with the image and the quick actions with 3 different buttons. So if I click on the baggage policy, it will provide me a basic sentence for the baggage policy. If I click on the cancel flight, it will provide me that you have to provide the seat number, etc. So this was done just to make the interface a bit more appealing. This part is the actual part of the application. So here you can see that we have the text area with the message, type your message below. So if I write a message here, what is the baggage policy, and click on the submit button, the triage agent will pass the responsibility to the appropriate agent, which then will use the tool to answer the question. So you can see that the request has been handed off from the triage agent to the FAQ agent, and now the FAQ agent is answering that you are allowed to bring one bag to the plane. Similarly, if I go ahead and change the message by saying, can I cancel my seat, and click on the submit request button, you can see that the previous conversation has been moved upwards, and you have to click the submit request button once again, and now the new conversation will be displayed below the submit request button. It says that the request has been handed off from the FAQ agent to the triage agent, and now the triage agent has handed it off to the FAQ agent, and the FAQ agent says, I don't have information, and let me connect to someone else with the seat cancellation. This is because we have set the question for cancelling flight and updating the seat, but not for cancelling the seat. That is why we are getting this message. In this way, you can use this multi-agent system to handle the flight management, and not just that, you can apply it in other industries like healthcare to direct the patients to general inquiries, appointment scheduling, or emergency assistance, or in the field of banking to handle FAQs, balance inquiries, etc., or in the field of e-commerce or IT support. So I'll highly encourage all of you to try it out for yourself, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. But that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.